Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Torchlight. So, we're out of quests, except for this final one, where we're going to defeat Uldric or Alric. We already defeated Alric. He ran down to floor 35. We can't cast town portal, so I assume what's going to happen is we're going to walk a second over here and it's going to give us a cutscene, but we're in a weird position because we're 15 floors away from level 50 and there's an achievement for getting down to level 50. We're in a new area. It is a floating in mist kind of half mine earthy natural area. With a lot of bones and demonic stuff. But it'll be interesting to see how long we stay in this area. It seems like we're kind of just going to chase the boss down.
Uldric, receive my sacrifice.
So he's sacrificing himself to free Uldric, who's been just mentioned. We don't know what he really looks like. Okay, now we know what he looks like. So this is the Diablo character. Alright. Well, our dog has charm. We have heal all. There's plenty of dragons all over the place. Uldric is hitting me kind of hard. I don't really have... Wait. Why did all those dragons just die there? I don't have my almost 100 like I had almost 100 of the maximum health potions. We can see he's doing damage. Here we go. We'll cast some spells and summon some zombies, and he is definitely higher than any other boss we fought. There's some items over here we could run around and collect. Seems like it is just going to be health and mana potions though. It looks to me, while we're wandering around here, like this is sort of a place where you could potentially cause some grinding to happen, but doesn't seem like there's a ton of it. There's a portal at the end here, and it's really pointless for them to be dropping town scroll portals since you can't use it in this area. My inventory is kind of full. This is really the maximum scale we could go on. Now remember, I'm playing on easy, so if you were playing this on a harder difficulty, he would probably be doing more damage to me. That being said though, you can see when I'm hitting him I'm doing 1200, 1500, 500 every click. He's clearly got a significant amount of damage. This is the one time where critical strikes would have been useful. And we don't have that because we didn't really up that. And you can see Uldric is moving so slow. He really is just kind of this uninteresting final boss. Just basic gameplay storytelling was failed to be done here, in the sense that they didn't bother to show this character or have this character at least voiced. All we had a name was a name, and that was it. He's now summoning some poison skeletons, which will potentially cause me some trouble, so we'll use our magic. And see, he's doing something that's killing the dragons and absorbing their power, but it doesn't seem like he's really absorbing their health or anything. I'm almost dead. So we're almost at a death there, which would have just cost me money. Let's face it. Meanwhile, I'm collecting health potions and items well enough that that wouldn't really be a problem. The dog is... his charm effect is doing nothing. Seems like he changed his attack stance or style just a little bit when we got to halfway down. But not really by too much. It almost seems like the dragons actually do hurt him when he kills them. So I don't know what the reason for that would be. So he's now about 1/3 of the way down. So he's probably going to do something to try and poison me. I don't think he can walk through that area. I think he's probably trapped. His fireball attack there did nothing. His punch attacks do nothing. We played this game well enough. But clearly there's got to be more to it. There's got to be some other corrupting force or other creature. It would be nice if there was a bit more of an intelligent enemy instead of just this evil force. Let's see. Take on all of these guys. Spell, another potion needed. Oh, I can. Speaking of spells, summon some zombies, and they're really not doing anything. So it's a long battle, but there's no secret way to defeat him that's really like easy. There's no levers or switches or anything that would make him die faster, as far as I can tell. Another potion. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if I'm close to running out of potions. There's a decent amount of people. Dragons nearly died there. But my max 650 bow and arrow just will take him out. If we just click. Again, this brings back the feeling that this is just a clicker game. That's all it really is. Just more clicking, more clicking. I assume if I kill Ordrock, every other creature in the area. I think they finally got me. Alright, so 1,326 gold, not a problem. Sucks to lose it, but not really a problem. The only thing that could be an issue is if Ordrock was back to his full health and we had to start all over again, which I wouldn't be surprised if Diablo 1 actually did play that way. But I also wouldn't be surprised if it didn't. There was so much more story, so much care and devotion. Yeah, I'm out of health. I'm out of health potions, so we're now using the things. I was wrong. He can get out of the area, which is dangerous now because if I die, he'll be in the absolute worst place he could be. But I'm about to defeat him. Pathetic excuse for a a Diablo clone enemy. No good there. No good at all. Meanwhile, what am I doing? Just trying to get my ranged weapons up and playing a little menu hero just to pick up everything that was dropped. Now, I will fully say I don't believe it's legitimate or realistic to think that anybody would grind through fighting the final boss of a game, or what at least appears to be the final boss of a game, over and over again to get unique loot. I would say that that was pretty much BS even in the days of Diablo and such. So increased gold find, increased magic find, armor, Epic's Jazz Band. I'm gonna hold on to that. But I don't think it fixes the increased experience issue, and still kind of am not finding anything that increases experience. Alright. And the dragons don't seem to have any artificial intelligence or programming when they're not on screen, so when they summon back, when they show up on screen again, they're dying immediately. I want to get everything I can find. There's an edge situation that's going on here, where if I look at the edges, when they haven't zoomed in on the screen, I can see if something's glowing or not, and then I can see if it needs to be picked up. That kind of is working. This is so poorly programmed, though. It makes no sense. It's not playing any audio. And I don't think they were dropping that interesting of items that it really is worth scrolling around this area multiple times trying to find it. Find the last thing that may be left on the floor. So let's just move forward. Syl talks to us.
So much for Torchlight and for me. I cannot thank you enough, my friend.
Now what's weird here is there's got to be more gameplay. We know there has to be, but maybe it was like DLC, but from 10 years ago. I don't think it really did have any DLC.
I do not yet understand it. Does it have any purpose now that Ordrock has been destroyed? Ordrock harnessed the energy of an entire mountain of Ember, but he could never leave the focal point of his web. He was a prisoner of his own power. But was the Dark Ember meant to free him? That would mean it had the power to channel energy directly from the focal point. Imagine it. The power of an entire mountain of Ember in the palm of my hand. I have so much more to learn. I may not be leaving Torchlight for quite some time.
So, this is kind of a pathetic way to end the game. I assume that was my character talking for the first time ever. Or maybe the second time. Like, I don't think I have an item that is Dark Ember. And I don't think that there's a mountain or focal point where we are. So floor 35 does seem like that's it. Did I shortchange myself perhaps by playing on easy? Maybe that's the difference in difficulty, is that you would just have more floors. That would be crazy too. There's got to be somebody here that's going to tell me something different. There's got to be more to the game. Alright. I guess all I need to do is identify items and then we'll sell them. Alright, so I think we can probably do this at the store interface. Sell that. Increase gold find. And really cannot get away from the idea of needing increased experience. Just sell a stack of that, sell a stack of that, sell a stack of that. Hold on to these things, and then wealth. Was that armor part of a set? No, I don't think any of these were. We're almost up to like 20,000 in equipment. This guy doesn't really sell anything other than health potions, and I still don't think he... Oh, he has a catfish. Alright, let's give that to the dog. It now is as good of a time as ever to have the dog transform into the cat. Fish. I click to feed the pet. Alright, so the cat is now a dog, or the dog is now a cat. Meanwhile, have we unlocked something that would do massive amounts of damage over our 682 bow, which was originally a 650 bow with some extra physical damage? No, we've got like a 609 gun that maybe, if we enchanted a lot, would be something worth thinking about. 696 bow that would require a lot of enchanting. 612 bow would require a lot of enchanting. I don't see a reason why I'd want to be this. Epic Trance Focus. This is different, so we'll buy that. That was part of a set. So we did find another weapon part of a set. Bright purple title. Meanwhile, we'll look for bright purple titles otherwise. I think we need to take a moment to gamble. I think that's how this is gonna probably break down, is we'll gamble to see if we can get some kind of better ring or better necklace or better armor.
Watch your back.
Yeah, it really doesn't make sense to make a new game. Trance Apprentice. Did we have anything else that was part of Trance Apprentice? We have trance plates, so that works with that. This requires level 48, where this requires level 11, so they don't even really work with that. Let's see who this new character is. It's been a long journey for you. You may retire. Be warned, the retirement is permanent. Upon retiring, you may pass down one of your items as an heirloom to the descendants, and it will be further enhanced. Your descendants will receive the benefits of your fame and begin their journey with increased skill. Come to speak to me again when you want to retire. Alright. So
I got the finest cut gems in Ember.
that's something to consider, but not something to really do. Like, because what of my items would I actually want to retire and improve so badly? Maybe the bow, like, instead of risking a potential disenchant. That might make some sense, but barely does that even make any sense. Alright. Still has nothing.
Ordrock will not consume Torchlight.
Okay. Meanwhile, we have this epic trinket, which I can try and enchant, which is probably maybe better than this other ring. And we have a mysterious map scroll, which we need to think about. We're not really going to do any enchantment anymore.
Hi there.
Summon skeleton 5. Go ahead and sell that.
See you later.
Alright, so cracked plus fire ember cut starfire. That's not going to do anything. Cracked flow ember, and cracked flow ember. Wouldn't get us very high. Dull deep ember. Doesn't work. That's 3 armor. But this is 6, so move those 2 around. Dull eyeball. With another dull eyeball. Which I don't think makes a cut eyeball. Dull core ember. Cold ember. I've got nothing else cold. And skull. So there's not even a lot of transmutation that would need to happen there. This guy has no quest for us. I think it's worth mentioning, like, if we click on the waypoint, layer floor 35, there's still plenty of room.
Oh, hello.
Let's see. And I think he would sell us a dogfish later.
Hi.
They want to talk to you.
You have done so much for Torchlight and for me. I cannot thank you enough, my friend.
Yeah, the game just kind of ending. He's got a new quest for us. Let's see. Deathless, find it on floor 1 of the Shadow Vault, accept.
You have gained a task.
Okay, so we have a new task, but nothing else is going to give us any new quests until we go into the Shadow Vault. And I'm really not sure how much of the Shadow Vault I really want to deal with, frankly. Let's look. Well, let's do the transmutation stuff first.
Well,
Just to get rid of that stuff before.
Fortune smiles on you.
Yeah, I could see just ending the game here. We do need to look at the Shadow Vault, but clearly if I was going to get to level 50 of the Shadow Vault, it's effectively playing the game for twice as long.
Hey, today only.
So, weapon-wise, gambling for a bow would be pretty insane. Armor-wise, I could gamble pretty easily. Miscellaneous wise, let's see, which are the most expensive trinkets? Right now, we would want a necklace. And I guess that's what we're gonna get if we buy here. And here, nothing there really exciting. So I don't think there would be a reason to buy a ring instead of enchanting a ring. Would I want boots? My boots are good, my belt is good, my helmet is good. We didn't, the scale clasp, the helmet, would be the main thing that we're missing. Level 40 doesn't work. Alright, so Epic Zorma's Insight. That doesn't work either. We're running out of money quickly. That doesn't work either. Like getting major increases in things. Yeah, so this helmet would be 25. This helmet's 13. So I don't know if you just get into this point where you can only have the most important things possible. The low level things have increased experience and then nothing more. That's a risk of 10 to continue enchanting, where this would be a risk of 2.
Fortune smiles on you.
Of course, I spent all the money on it,
You are unlucky.
and now I'm totally out of money. Increased magic find, increased armor, increased gold find, but not increased experience. So it's hard to make a judgment to use that ring. This would be a 2% chance also. And then this one. Just kind of drop these pretty quickly. Changing characters and retiring characters doesn't make sense. This is a level 36 7-piece set of items. Alright. So, if we go over here, leaving Torchlight still impossible. Over here is still nothing. And the only thing that I think has changed is over in this section now we've got a new character to talk to, a couple new characters.
Hello.
I've forgotten the air could be so fresh above the ground. It has been long since I've seen the start. If you wish to keep this world as it is, you must destroy the champions of corruption below. If you delve 1 floor below the surface, you'll find a champion, slay Ibels, the reviled, and drive the blight into the depths, further into the depths. So this is a level 47 item And this is now a new quest giver. And I think this is a quest to go kill somebody.
You have gained a task.
But it kind of seems like this guy's not going to give us any quests going forward, at least for a little bit. And he might, though, because I bet we start opening waypoints in the smaller section. But I really don't get the breakup here. It kind of doesn't make sense. We might as well have just gone a few more floors. Diablo most definitely did not end this way at all. And yeah, this is not really an ending, and the games like these really don't ever have an ending, although Diablo kinda does. So we're back to this section with some different kinds of enemies. These are level 42 enemies. Like, what's my character sheet? I'm at level 43. I'm kind of surprised I'm that high. So we've seen a layout like this. They're definitely recycling. And almost certainly these aren't custom generated areas. These are new enemies though, so there is more game here. But in the light of I could be playing Torchlight 2 right now, it's really hard to make a justification. Here we have a named character that is not really hitting too hard. Oh, he's hitting a little hard. Oops, hit the wrong key. Interesting, I could hit the wrong key. So is level 1 of this area the equivalent of level 36?
Quest complete.
So there's 2 quests done rather quickly. Perhaps this is a more accelerated experience with more varied enemies per floor. It kind of does seem like they're past the idea of saying certain floors are only going to have certain enemies. Now it's a free-for-all. The Blight is no longer being controlled by Auroch, so it is just doing its thing. And that is a lot of poison damage. Really wanted to get a bow that would do ricochet, and we never ran into a ability that like that, so I assume it's just not in the game, or it's so incredibly rare that it might as well not be in the game. This is a enhanced amount of health. I'm clicking on this not as much as I clicked on Auroch, but quite a lot. He's definitely the second strongest enemy I've fought in the game by far. And we're getting all kinds of drops. There was a brief section before floor 35 or so where we were finding named characters over and over again. Perhaps that's what this is intended to be. But it would be interesting to see how far this goes. Could be that there actually isn't a floor 2 here, or floor 2 doesn't kind of matter. It could be a case where this just randomly generates every time you enter the area. These rock trolls. That clearly seems like that was custom done. Maybe these were custom levels left on the cutting room floor. Maybe these were the parts of the game that was going to make it more of a single player experience. Although this style of gameplay with custom levels and a single player experience would only change it a little bit. I would not be surprised if a lot of people didn't even notice the difference. I'm gonna have to increase my damage, clearly. I'm not doing anywhere near enough damage on these trolls. So that's gonna make it much more of a click fest. And yeah, at no point did I ever consider changing things up and playing as the wizard we're supposed to play as, or using staff and magic. At no point was I thinking that I consider playing with sword and shield as the barbarian character class. So that's true. That's the old meme joke, is that somebody starts a new run in Skyrim and they go, this time I'm gonna play as a aggressive paladin class, and 5 hours in you're playing as a stealth archer again, because Skyrim in particular is bad about overpowering the ability to do more damage while you're in stealth, and overpowering the ability to injure people or enemies in Skyrim with a ranged weapon. This might be a case where, even though we're getting a lot of enemies thrown at us, we're also getting an accelerated amount of experience. So maybe this is the way you get up to level 100. Yeah, a game like this, it's kind of hard to make the decision to say, okay, I'm satisfied, I don't really feel a need to play anymore, because it's not really going to give you credits. It's not going to end. There probably is some small thing that eventually does happen if you cleared out all the floors in this Shadow Vault, but I wouldn't be surprised if it also just kind of randomly generates things. And they clearly want you to retire and start the whole game over. They open that option up after you did the main story, with no hesitation. And we'll do that, I suppose. It really wouldn't kill me. Well, see, that's the problem here, is that if I retire and then I really was going to want to play more of these levels, I probably wouldn't be able to do it without going through the entire game a second time, or for honestly a third time. See, something here is doing ricochet damage, just not me. Or at least it seems like that.
My inventory is full.
Hit the switch. Get the gold. Bring up the inventory. We can take a moment to see where we are with the drops. Perhaps the drops are way better now. That would be interesting. But you hit a level of maximum because your mana and your health. Like, I'm almost to the point where I have 2,000 health. This recovers 2,000 health. So if there was a way to continue to level up and get up to 4,000 health, you'd just be drinking twice as many grand health potions. That wouldn't really work. Here's a rare bow that's level 22, but I don't know if that means anything. Let's see. This is a quest item. Nothing else was a quest item, was it? Alright, here we go. Increased experience and increased magic find. So this 1% increased experience in magic find. I guess you could try and enchant that, but why not just try and enchant something like this that already has more? Yeah, in fact, why haven't I tried to do that? Meanwhile, yeah, those items don't feel like they were particularly important items. Let's see. There's that enchanted guy. We're getting about 80 gold there. At least we did in that last pile. As a comparison, we originally started the game only getting 100 gold or so. This really does feel rather late in the game to open the door to any random enemies in any random level.
My health is low.
It's not a bad idea. It wouldn't have been a bad idea if that's just how the game was in general. You start in the mines fighting little weak goblins, and then you introduce a new character that's like a sub-boss. After you beat the sub-boss, you start seeing him show up as regular enemies. And they show up all the time. That guy's turned. I kind of need an explosive attack. There's a problem going on here with just too many people.
My health is low.
And I died.
Your pet is fleeing.
Yeah, I just want to... We may even go a little long here. I just want to go to the end of this level, which I don't think is that long. And then I want to use one of the scrolls on the lowest level of either this level or level 35, which... just to see what's there. And then I think I might just portal out of that area. Honestly, doing all that though is probably going to be another hour of gameplay. But then, yeah, I think we're pretty done. There's no grand revelations happening here. What I've been saying the whole time is still pretty much stands. It's crazy that this was sold and feels like an attempt at the spiritual successor to Diablo 1, and then doesn't seem to really learn any of the lessons from Diablo 2. It almost certainly came out before Diablo 3 came out, so I can't really blame them for that. But it does things worse in Diablo than Diablo 1 did it. It tells a much weaker story than what was in Diablo 1. Diablo as a game would not have succeeded if it weren't for the fact that it had its demonic macabre story that caught people's attention. Repetitive gameplay and getting a lot of money value aside, yeah, people certainly like that too, but they like that in the 80s. In modern times, as I'm playing this in 2019, the amount of ridiculous clicking I'm doing that's wearing down my mouse on almost undoubtedly, the amount of grinding I'm doing is unacceptably high. This is the problem with the World of Warcraft classic servers. You're either going to be a player that wants to play through World of Warcraft online classic servers really fast and just be done with it, or you're going to want to play it forever and you don't want it to in any way be good or improved upon. But the vast majority of people aren't going to want to do either. So you're going to have the vast majority of people not playing on World of Warcraft classic servers and instead wanting to play, if they're going to play any World of Warcraft, wanting to play the most recent main servers that have all of the extra functions and the ability to fly and the ability to not have to grind as much. World of Warcraft is a great example because with practically every expansion, you're a new player who jumps in the game is given a item that jumps them up to a very high level, skipping the first 60 or so or more levels. Had I been given the opportunity to use an item that would have jumped my character up in Torchlight here to level 60, considering how he's level 40 right now, I would have definitely done that. Although it really is just a number at that point. And you can see also the cat does not really do anything different. It doesn't have any different attacks or different anything. It's just a skin. It was an unnecessary thing. They could have made a editorial decision to say you're going to have a pet dog, you're going to have a pet lynx / cat. It needed to be a lynx just so it could be the same size and shape as the dog. So clearly they intended to have a dog first. Okay. Molten Prison Floor 2. So it is just randomized areas with randomized enemies. And that's kind of all it is, and it will just keep on going and keep on going and keep on going. Meanwhile, this guy has no quest for us, and I don't think he will. Maybe at floor 5 there would be something there. So we get that quest to
Hi
get some more
there.
fame. And then floor 3 would be the next
You have begun
quest to,
a new
for
quest.
fame. See, this is just gibberish talks. They didn't even want to have to write it.
You have gained a task.
Okay. He's got a new quest for us now? Okay. And he'll just keep on giving us
Begun
quests.
A new quest.
But this guy, I don't think will ever give us any more quests. I don't think any other character is going to give us anything more. Inventory, looking at this. Let's talk to this guy. Sell that and that. This is a shield. 35 scale helmet. Sell a pile of those. He still, by the way, does not let you do that. He's also selling dogfish, so we could turn back to a dog if we really cared. Let's see. Rest of this I think we can very quickly sell.
Bye-bye.
I'm doing a lot of setup. A lot of gameplay was for setup for something that was never gonna happen. I was just being silly. A lot of looking for items. I don't believe that there is a weapon here that would be at a low enough point. Like, you're not going to get a level 1 weapon in this. So, even if I did retire, there's definitely some equipment that I couldn't spend money on. Best I could do is try and enchant equipment. And it doesn't look like any of this is part of a set, as far as I can tell.
Goodbye.
Hi there.
So, heal all 5. This was something I was going to try and do. We'll see if we can pull this off. If I got really bored, level 20, the question mark maps are available. And nothing else. Okay. So let's look at the dog's inventory. Charm, I hate it, so we get rid of that. And then spell. 2 heal alls on the dog / lynx. Meanwhile, I'm just gonna drop these gems, which you really couldn't do anything with these at all. Yeah. There's no way to fix this where you could convert a lot of these items down. So you have this chest of stuff, which I guess I don't need anywhere as many of these potions, so let's sell a bunch of this and see if we can get some money. That'll give me at least some free room. I'm not gonna bother to even try and transmute anything. I'm just gonna try and enchant things. Let's look at his rings and 1% experience, 1% experience. We have 13,000. Here we have 1% experience in Magic Find versus this, which is 2% experience, no Magic Find, versus this, which is 2% experience, and a lot of other things. This is gold and Magic Find. This would be the one to enchant.
Fortune is kind to you.
All right. Good day.
You are unlucky.
Farewell. Good day.
The problem here is we just never have enough money for this.
Farewell. Hello there.
So
Fortune is kind to you.
my only thought is that perhaps
Good day.
something that with 1% increased experience gain might just get pushed upward. Let's see what that does.
Fortune is kind to you.
All right.
2% experience. Still. I mean, that didn't change.
Good day.
Where? I can't afford this one. So. This prismatic ice unique belt fell off for some reason. Apparently I didn't have enough dexterity for it, or enough strength. Interesting.
Goodbye.
So I would have to do a ton of grinding to get all of these gems, probably in some kind of piece of equipment. I guess there's probably enough of that here. Like, I could probably put a gem in each one of these items rather quickly and then see what happened. And so we might do that just to not screw up. Meanwhile, the lowest floor we can go to is layer 35, and I assume that's the lowest floor. I assume it's, at least as far as it's concerned. We have this item. Right click to open a portal to the Lost Dungeon. It's not working. Let's go up one floor, I guess. Take note, no grinding here. No way to get Olrock to resummon. Not easily. Or, I don't think anyway. At all. Yeah, I shouldn't mince words there. I'm fairly certain there's a 0% chance that you can... Right. So we got 3 of these map portals through doing the quests up until this point. It opens a level like this, which is just kind of a randomly generated portal. Very much in the same vein of the other area. Well, actually, there's something different to this. This looks like a real puzzle. And I want to go a little long here because this will be a good experiment to see what happens to the dog and the pet using the double heal all spells. Nah, he just did it twice. Yeah. So yeah, the pet's not programmed right. He will just cast 2 double heals instead of waiting waiting 15 seconds and casting the spells again. There might be something to the idea of being healed twice, but I bet not much. It might double the increase of your health if you, in a rare few seconds, you were about to die. If something was doing, say, 800 damage to you per second. But it really would have to be on that level, 800 damage to you per second, because one heal all 6 is more than strong enough to give you 400 per second, or over 4 seconds. You can see here I can just stay in the middle of this fight, no problem. I haven't gotten to the point where I'm so overpowered that I don't have to click, but I don't think you'd ever get to that point. Even if you made it to level 100, I think at that point you stop leveling up and the enemies would just stop leveling up. Meanwhile, I'm still just picking up a lot of garbage. It could be that these mysterious maps that I was given go to very specific handcrafted levels, and all the other maps that you can buy are just random generated levels. That might be how it breaks down. If that's the case, okay. Then I'm missing out on 3 levels by not playing any further, in the same way that I'd be missing out on more levels otherwise. Seems like, yeah, there's definitely a lever thing going on. Let's see. There we go, I think that solved it. Although the camera really isn't giving you a great visual angle for this. I have plenty of health, so don't need to be too concerned about that. It would be nice if the dog healed himself, though, or the cat, whatever it is now. Thank goodness we do not yet live in a world where you can change the genetics of your pet, turn your cat into a dog. Just kind of randomly clicking in the big mess of glowing lights. I really do hate games with bright neon lights where it just becomes so much visual noise that you can't see anything. This is a great example of that. It's not been incredibly bad in this game because we haven't fought things that are doing lightning, cold, and poison damage all at once up until this point, with also their glowing weapons that they have.
You have triggered a trap. I'm wounded.
Okay.
You have sprung a trap.
If you die in these maps levels, there we are shown that there's no real consequences extra to it, just gold, or I could have respawned where I was. And lost experience and fame, which would have been a really dumb decision. This is way more of a puzzle than we saw in 99% of the rest of the game, so it feels like somebody in charge, and I personally have to completely disagree with this artistic decision. Was not happy with anything that wasn't random, and thus anything that wasn't random was excised from the main game. Because yeah, this whole section's handcrafted. You'd only want to go through this once. That's definitely the case. If I ever ran into the same puzzle, it would be boring. But yeah, this works. Why did I not do this, for example, before I reached Aldrich or Udrock? Either one of those could have had a puzzle floor. Alright. I'm really not trying to pick up items. So, what I'm trying to change now, I think, maybe that's it. It's a little hard to see. No, not quite. Remember, my resolution is higher, so we're gonna have to just run here and hope this doesn't kill me. Yeah, if I can't see things right where they are, from where I'm standing, because of with a higher resolution at 1080p. Anybody who had played this game at a lower resolution when it first came out was definitely not going to be able to see the solution, so perhaps that's the problem with this area and why it's not in the main game, is that they felt they would just get a significant amount of complaints with this map section being too big to be seen. So it looks like there's an enchantment well at the end of this area. I've convinced too many people to chase after me. No longer at that position where my armor is just so strong it doesn't even matter what's attacking me. This still is kind of a medium-sized map. It still has stuff to show. And killing the skeletons hiding in barrels has gotten more difficult than it should. Like, if a skeleton can't be one-clicked killed, nothing can. So many games boil down to gameplay styles like this, though, where it is just the numbers go up. The numbers go up, and the numbers go up, and then the numbers go up some more. Yeah, apparently there was a whole side section that over there. We may have to go deal with that. Otherwise, I don't really know how I'm gonna open this enchantment section. Saw something. Yep, come on, die already.
My pack is full.
His pack is full. Heal 6. Not a bad one to have to give to a new character. Right. That. Yep. Still getting mostly garbage while having a ridiculously small amount of inventory. Okay. So I only need a slight change to go to the right side. So I want to make a major change. See if that was the slight change. Nope. Let's try this. Let's see what that does. That alone won't do anything. This lever and open that gate, and then see if we can convince a lot of people to attack me at once, just for stupidity's sake. Characters that are the problems are these warlocks doing elemental damage. I can really take on any number of people. Otherwise, I can't even really see where my cursor is, and I'm surrounded by enemies so much. So yeah, can't even really see my own character, let alone control him, because he's trapped in a walled off area. And that took several health potions to deal with. So there definitely is a point where you push too hard, you go too far, and you'll end up costing yourself in resources or money if you die. Of course, if I was to die right now, it would be a good excuse to not come back to this area, but not a great excuse because there's a bunch of things on the floor, and the only way to recover from my losses as far as using the mana potions is to kill things.
trap.
Yeah, if I had gotten them to all bundle around what I suspected was a trap, and then shot the trap, maybe that would be an efficient way to play. But that's unlikely that that would have ever worked. And yeah, I don't think that was faster. It only really takes 3 clicks if you focus on a warlock to kill him. You hear a ding, so it's either a ring or a gem was just picked up or dropped. There is something to be said. This is not something I covered much, but the Christian storyline, mythology, is so heavily ingrained in Western video game players' minds that when you're playing a game like Diablo, it's really easy to relate and understand. Hey, Diablo is a name for a devil / the devil, and as such, we know he's evil, and we know he's going to use demons and demonic moves. Alright. I think that was the right way. No, not quite. See. Pet's basically healing itself. Feels like these levers might actually trigger 3 different cycles, which doesn't really work. Alright. All kinds of chests and items to pick up. All kinds of gold to pick up, although actually the gold's not particularly that good. And then we have a Shrine of Enchantment, which of course you would want to enchant this. Disenchant chance 3%.
Fortune is kind to you.
So 18 armor degradation, I believe, was added to that. Meanwhile, we've got a whole bunch of new items to deal with. And I believe that's that. Yeah, this is where we were. We were at the Black Palace, stairs down, or we can just go back to the town, even from there. So, a Shrine and Enchantment. If I was going to play this really right, I would continue to play the rest of the levels and get my character up to his maximum level. I would let's see, I would do a lot of things, certainly. Maybe buy a dogfish and change it back to a dog if I wanted a dog. Sell all of these things, because that's really what that's going to come down to. Is I don't think I can enchant my way in a reasonable amount of playthrough into the items I want. I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that all of these are nothing.
Take care now.
So, like, we have rings, 2% experience gain. Let's enchant that.
Fortune is kind to you.
Shoo! Off with you. Anything you need?
Fortune frowns.
Shoo! Off with you. Good day.
Fortune is kind to you.
Just getting more items on it,
Day.
but I don't think you get improved items.
Shoo! Off with you. Anything you need?
And even if I could get everything up to
Fortune is
even
kind.
like 4% experience gain,
What can I do for you?
I don't.
You are unlucky.
Yep, I just lost all enchantments on that ring. So that ring is done for. So you're better off gambling than you are enchanting, because at least when you gamble, there's no chance.
Lucky.
There's no chance of losing things. And I can't put
I
this
can't
on.
do that.
Alright.
Shoo! Off with you.
What can I do for you?
So we could buy more items and transmute more items, but let's be realistic here. We have a life ember, a cut life ember 16, star fire ember. Just gonna take all of these, I guess. That would be the wise thing to do, is try and take everything.
My inventory is full.
So the idea here would be to put all of your equipment that you're wearing, I guess, here in the inventory. And that leaves me with a short list of things that I'd have to get rid of. Probably isn't too expensive to buy an identify spell. Town portal spell would be helpful. Requires level 4. Then the idea would be to start just placing random gems in random sockets without, like, normally you wouldn't do this randomly, you would have some logic to it. What is this ring? That ring is way too good to lose. Yeah, these boots we could probably lose. Well, I guess have to look and see if there's anything that can be socketed. A lot of these things don't seem like they can be socketed. Of course, yes, this is just a random assortment of me placing gems in places, which very well might boil down to, if I really wanted that gem back, I would destroy an item and none of these items are important enough to hold on to for that reason. And I'm barely going to be able to socket most of the gems. We have a discolored skull that I can put in. Alright, there. So then the last thing would be the mysterious map scrolls, which I don't think you want to do. So yeah, theoretically
You have done so.
you would have played these, so they would have taken less space. Theoretically, you would have taken all of these gems and done something more with them. I guess you could sell some things here and just keep on selling to try to have some more gold to enchant things more. I'm just like, but yeah.
What can I do for you?
So quest wise, it would just be going down to this place and keep on playing, or we re-roll a new character and retire.
What can I do for you?
Place an item down to pass down.
See you later.
So let's see what this is. Okay, so pet can be a cat or dog. We could play as the character that I played as originally, which was the female, or we could play as the destroyer. Let's play as the female, and then same character name, and then I guess for just sake we'll see what normal feels like.
The disturbances in Torchlight were more severe than I expected, but I must admit I felt a bit relieved. Petty assignments often signal the end of a vanquisher's career.
So you do get
I came to restore
a
the flow of
second
Ember, but the
storyline
darkness
a
below
little bit,
Torchlight
but
ran far deeper than the mines.
the characters you play
To be a
as
test of both my skill and my
talk
connection.
like twice in the
Ember must be
game, at the
torn out
beginning
from
and
its
at the
roots,
end, and that's
this
it.
one had buried itself deeply.
Welcome to the town of Torchlight. Let's not look at tips. Let's look here. So, playing as a marksman, we have one point we can equip. Ranged weapon expertise with ricochet. So ricochet is only something the marksman can have. Or we could have armor expertise when we get down to it, and defensive spell mastery and martial weapons mastery. Over here is treasure hunter and barter. Or we could have lightning bomb, dual wielding, flame trap, charm spell mastery, pet mastery. Pet mastery is in a completely different place. And now it's kind of the same spells when they're permanent spells, but different spells for some of the other elements, in different places too, because I know for the mage, armor expertise was over here. It kind of doesn't even like need to be done. Ranged weaponry, and we'll see how this would really break down. You start here and you get an experience.
A new quest.
The gambler and all of those characters are not going to do anything for us. So this chest is completely empty. This weapon, however, is here, but would require level 24. So what's kind of the point of that. So here we go. Here's the idea. Town portal spell can be ours. And we have a level 11, 11, 24, 20. Let's see, 15, 18, 29, 12. So you'd have to play the game all the way up to level 12 before you could even start to think to use any of the equipment that I've left over for myself. That's a lot of grinding. That's a lot of BS. I have 100 gold. It really makes no sense there. The character that is there is gone. The waypoint is gone.
Hi there.
She won't do anything for us or sell us anything
Hi there.
at the moment.
Good day to you.
He'll sell us
Well, hello.
some maximum super potions.
Bye-bye.
So yeah, you're in a weird position. I guess this is open.
Hi there.
So
Begun
apparently
a new quest.
you can do this,
You have gained a task.
but that would be pretty insane to go and do that first. You've got to do a little bit of grinding in the main story.
Help or stay out of the way.
And it is just Syl.
Brink, over here.
Oh,
I can't hold
this
them back
bad
much
guy.
longer.
You all right, Syl?
This was there at the beginning of the game. I'd forgotten about him. He kind of never says
No wonder,
anything.
Master.
You have begun a new quest.
Way too many
I
loading
have
screens.
arrived in Torchlight and began my exploration of the
It's the
tunnels
same
below.
story
These
for
mines are
the rest of the
vast and
game until
glow
the
with
end.
ember.
It's just all from Aldrich's journal. You go back here, and I would swear that this is the exact same layout of the mine level floor 1. So even if it is randomized, it doesn't seem like that's really gonna help. It really doesn't feel like there's a good reason why you'd want to play like this. Like, why would you want to go back and keep on playing the game over and over again when it's the same floor plan, it's the same enemies, it's the same old, same old. Sure, the skills are slightly different, but even in Diablo, where you would have a lot more reason to do this, I don't think there's a good reason to play Diablo right after playing Diablo 1 the first time you played it. Even if you did want to play as a different character, you just move over to Diablo 2 and play as a character class that is similar, or if not the exact same class. By the way, the dog does not have any spells or equipment either, so a lot of the things that I was going to try and do aren't realistic for several levels, and I don't think you're going to get an accelerated increase in experience just because you retired and are playing the game a second time. Like, unlike Rogue Legacy, where the game is built around that idea of playing
Hello there.
is built around the idea of playing against a generation upon generation. Rogue Legacy is relatively fast to play a run and then you're on to the next generation. It's not 20 hours worth of gameplay, and then here's another 20 hours that you could do. Alright. Let's go down one more floor, and then I think that's gonna be it for Torchlight. Well, actually, I want to experiment with one thing. So, character sheet, we're at 1. Yeah, we're slowly making our way up. And we can use the identify scroll on this. We could put on this, which does a little bit more armor. We could have a rotten crossbow, which does a little bit more damage. We can not really do anything else because we don't have any equipment. So it's not like items are dropping better or in any way. That's not what I meant to click on. That's the mistake of opening a town portal right next to the stairs up. With our money, which we could get, you really couldn't even buy any equipment or armor.
Watch your back.
Your deeds make a fire.
New quest there. The guy here is not back yet.
Hi there.
How much would it cost? Town portal spell is 3,162 gold. That's actually quite a lot. And yeah, you're not going to be able to really afford anything else, and you're not really going to have any spells
See you
that
later.
you can use. This didn't magically refill. This didn't change because we haven't even leveled up once.
Good day. Gained a level.
So the thing I would need would be adventurer. So we got to play through the first 10 levels before you can even do anything. And I would have no idea what you were supposed to dump into.
Day. You have gained.
So the right way to play this game would clearly be to always gamble. Never enchant, always gamble. It's less of a gamble to gamble than it is to enchant. Here's what I want to see is what level of difficulty are these guys at? By the way, we're playing on normal, so these guys are level 1 too. Yeah, there's... I guess maybe you could grind through these a little bit quicker than the main game. Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised if it's pretty much the same either way. Well, no, I am about to level up a second time. So there must be more experience that's dropped in this area. Like, I'm about to kill one more character and I should level up.
You have completed a task. You have gained in experience.
Then there would just be toss things into dexterity. You'd never get enough dexterity points though to really justify having your dexterity so high that your minimum attack was the amount that your weapon could do. It would never balance into that. Balance that way. Is that all this is? No, there's more here. Alright, so let's return to the title screen and see if we've ruined. Look at that. We're in a different background because we're inside the dungeon. We never saw that. And she's wearing different equipment than what she started with at the very least. Have we ruined our other character? Retired, level 44 play. No, he's retired. He's a ghost. Can't play as him. Unless there's some kind of mod that you can do to unretire a character, I would have to forever play as this character or make a new character, which that kind of sucks. No reason to really go through all of the credits. It seems like that is all the credits. A pretty small team, it seems like, that worked on this game that can explain some of the weirdness here. But to make a long argument short, we've been saying it throughout the gameplay, Torchlight may have thought of itself as being a spiritual successor of Diablo. It may have had people who worked on Diablo 1 work on this game. It's not as good as Diablo is. It doesn't have the relevancy. It doesn't have the nostalgia. It doesn't learn anything from Diablo and does some things different from Diablo that makes Torchlight worse. I suspect it probably has less character classes. It has definitely less inventory space, less reason why you'd want to play, badder enemy AI, and definitely a worse pet AI compared to the characters that you could hire, at least in Diablo 2. Sure, a lot of my memories of Diablo 1 may be memories of Diablo 2 also, but Diablo 2 is definitely better than Torchlight 1. So my hope is that Torchlight 2 addresses a lot of these issues, has controller support. It has been crazy the amount of clicking I've been doing. Fixes issues. We never really got a complete set of any of the equipment. Well, we got about 2 complete sets when the sets only required 2 pieces of equipment. We never really got an amazingly good collection of items that we loved. Enchanting kind of sucks. Gambling kind of sucks. Transmuting definitely sucks. We did a whole bunch of menu hero, a whole bunch of grinding. The enemies are generic. This very much feels like it was intended to be either kid-friendly or China-friendly. Probably, since this is a 10-year-old game, it was probably designed to be more kid-friendly. But that doesn't make a lot of sense either, because a Diablo-esque game is not going to be accepted and played by kids. It's just way too long, and way too boring. And particularly Torchlight was boring. Its story is super generic and super boring. Its final boss, Uldrick, is terrible. Nowhere as impactful or important as far as compared to Diablo. So in pretty much every way, with perhaps less, perhaps Torchlight supports modern resolutions, and so you would need some kind of mod to play Diablo 1 at 1080p. Sure, I'd believe that. But I still think I would like the graphics of Diablo 1 way better than the smooth CG, kind of low polygon by today's standards, that we're seeing in these characters. This cartoony look just does not work for me. So yeah, I like Torchlight when I first played it, alright, and I probably abandoned it right about the point that I'm at right now, where there probably is a little bit more that you could do. There's always a little bit more you can do. In 2019, a game like this, if you were playing it on your smartphone and it kind of had some daily quests, I could see doing some of that. I think you'd get pretty bored with that also. I wish Diablo-esque games and loot games in general would dial back the amount of loot. This game definitely needed to do that because the inventory was so limited. We needed less loot dropping and better quality loot dropping when we did. Even though I played this as best as I can to get as much experience as possible, some of the achievements are clearly insane and will require at least either 2 full gameplays or playing all the way down to maybe a level 100 in the crypt area. I imagine even when you get to level 100 in the crypt area, if you can get to level 100, it would just keep on going. That's going to be it for this series. I think I'll take a little bit of a break and then see if I want to play Torchlight 2 or I'll play some other game. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos because that tells YouTube that my videos are worth watching and helps me out. If you want to check out any of the other games I've covered, I have a playlist for every game I've ever played, so lots of them exist on my YouTube page. And if you want to support me, which would be greatly appreciated, you can support me either through the link down below to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me either a gift card or a game that you'd like to see me cover, or just a game off my wish list. I have a highly curated wish list just for that reason. And then if you want notifications and want to make sure that you're actually getting all the notifications because YouTube is crazy, there are a bunch of social media links down below. I don't spam them too much, just a tweet, a post when a new video comes out, and that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.